Hello, this is Haiku here for my Lost Caverns of Ixalan Arena Pauper card rankings. So I've started doing this since I think it was All Will Be One. Just trying to practice my card evaluation skills and trying to predict the metas that are going to come out of the new cards and how they're going to fit into Historic Pauper, Explorer Pauper, and Standard Pauper. Um, Overall, I think I've done okay at some evaluations. I think the biggest issue is I just kind of named too many cards as reasonable cards. So this set I've tried to really reduce how many cards I'm ranking. So let's get to it. So I'll start with my number 9 most impactful card for Arena Pauper. I think it's going to be Nurturing Bristleback. It's going to be a fine reanimator target, but I don't think it's really going to do much more than that. So I think that's really what holds it back. Volatile Wanderglyph, I think is going to be a solid card in the Menace decks, as well as it's going to be okay card in some Convoke decks. But overall, I don't think it's going to make too many waves, and it's not like even a necessary card for those decks that are really going to make them broken and get a little extra value there. And then a 2/2 for 2 is fine, even though artifact typing does make it a little bit weak to some certain types of removal. It's overall a fine card. Etali's Favor, as I alluded to when I did my red review, that the fact that it can hit itself is kind of a cool effect. And it's a pretty cheap effect. And then giving +1/+1 in trample is a pretty reasonable effect. So if you get that plus draw a card and cast it for free, even if it's a 1 mana value card, is pretty reasonable. And again, you're never drawing a land, so that's also a pretty cool effect. This is a cool card just in general as just like a regular value card, but then it's kind of cool in the future as a potential like combo kind of card. Orazca Puzzle-Door, just a solid, cheap way to get an artifact into your graveyard, as well as another card, and some card selection as well. Just overall solid card. Inverted Iceberg. So this is an artifact that's going to stay in play. So these two cards are very, very similar because mostly Inverted Iceberg you're never going to be flipping. The reason why I put Inverted Iceberg on top is the fact that it gets the card and stays in play. And so there's a lot of decks that can utilize a random permanent in play, especially if it's an artifact. Disruption Protocol is a really solid card in blue that will utilize this card. But then there's Deadly Dispute and the new Deadly Dispute that also would sack this after getting value, where you can't do that with Orazca Puzzle-Door, so it's not quite as good. So moving on. Sunfire Torch is just a solid equipment that's going to trigger sacrifice effects, so maybe Jataxian Infiltrator finally gets to see the light of day. I still don't think it makes that card playable, but it definitely makes Goblin Blast Runner even better. So yeah, solid card. Fanatical Offering, as I alluded to, the new Deadly Dispute, going to be super solid. Chains into itself, or other deadly disputes chain into each other, so super good. Sort of like how the Reckless Impulse and Ren's Resolve, they just kind of feed into each other, even though they're basically the same card. Once you hit, or those two are actually the same card. Once you hit one, you generally can hit other ones, and so the same thing will be in black decks now. So yeah, look forward to seeing that. Goblin Tomb Raider, just a solid 1 mana 2/2 threat. It's one of the first ones that we really have, and this one has haste stapled onto it as well. Going to be pretty solid on Arena and actually in Paper Pauper as well, I think. Very solid mono red, red black, red white is another card, another color combo that was going to have plenty of artifacts. So yeah, I think those three color combos. I don't think red green or red blue really have a lot of artifacts that they're wanting to play. Although red blue does have another card that is a 1 mana 2/2 as long as you have an artifact. So maybe there's a red blue artifacts aggro deck. I don't think so though. And then my number one card, I kind of already called it when I did my black set review, Tithing Blade. Doesn't really matter what's on the backside, but it is a reasonable backside as well. But mostly this is going to get, first of all, it's a removal spell that can get bounced, or you can also get rid of a permanent, use the permanent for Deadly Dispute or Fanatical Offering. Finally remember the name of that one. So it's going to be an awesome card, staple on the arena formats for time to come. So yeah, and then overall, just to review the set, let me go here. So you can see starting 1, 2 are just red and black cards, and then we get some blue cards, and then more red cards, and then one miserable green card. So unfortunately, the set design here was a little lopsided in what is constructed playable. So we will see how that goes in the future. Rakdos has just gotten so much toys to play with. It's just become a almost omnipresent archetype on Arena, since again Arena is more focused on these more recent sets. It's just hard to compete with Rakdos, what Rakdos has going on. And Rakdos has so many cards now that there's multiple different Rakdos decks. As alluded to before, there's the 8 Wrath deck, there's Rakdos Bounce Value, there's Rakdos more aggro Goblin Blast Runner style, and then you don't even have to play Rakdos, you can play mono black or mono red, and there's enough cards in those archetypes that are in those colors that there's plenty to fuel a monocolored deck if you don't want to deal with tap lands. So, yep. So very lopsided set, but at the same time, it's a very strong set. So it's kind of exciting. We got some cool cards. Just wished it was a little bit more balanced out. White didn't get anything that I think. White got some cards, but I don't think they're worthy of making the top of the list for the set. So yeah, we'll see how right I am or wrong I am if I miss any cards that are going to make waves. But yeah, I think my my record with my set reviews has been okay. With what I've called, I think the biggest issue is I don't think I've missed cards that ended up being really good. I just think I overcalled and called cards that were not that good as potentially the top cards of the set. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy my set reviews. And yeah, go ahead and leave your comments below about where you'd rank cards, or if you felt like I missed some of your favorite cards. Yeah, there were some reasonable green and red vanilla creatures, or basically vanilla as long as you descended. They were just large creatures without any evasion, without any ETB ability, without any trample. I didn't really think that they were something to write home about, and I don't think they're going to make any waves, unfortunately. So yeah, yeah, we'll see what my record is going forward with how my evaluation skills is. See you for another video.